Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Okay, I've seen the SEC projected win totals. Shout out to Uncle Lou. I told you, you gave me some inspiration to make another video. You continue to inspire me in a good way. Thanks. Anyways, on to the Florida Gators. I saw his video. I thought he was talking trash, but you know what? Looking at that schedule, yeah, I really, and as a Florida State fan, that's how I'm gonna make this video for a good thumbnail. But I don't see Florida having a winning record. Look, here's the thing. Look, I'm not dissing the players. Florida has some good players. I'm not saying they're world beaters. I'm not saying they're elite. I'm not saying they're cream of the crop. But if they're coached properly and developed properly, they can play with anybody. This past year, I understand Florida State. I understand Georgia. The better teams. I understand that. But LSU, who didn't have much of a defense, Utah, who didn't have a good passing game, a good quarterback this past year. No disrespect to Utah, but that's what it was. Kentucky, who really was average. These teams, Florida should have beat. Okay? So, in my honest opinion, I feel like Florida, as far as their players, they're good enough to win 7 or 8 games. And even with the schedule, look, anybody, regardless of who the coach is, Florida, with the players they have, I don't see them winning 9, 10 games with that schedule. I mean, look, anybody with that schedule, regardless of who the players are, because injuries happen, upsets happen, I don't see anybody with that schedule going to a playoff or winning a national championship or anything. That's a rough schedule. Heck, Georgia would not win the last 5 games of the season with that last 5-game stretch. Look it up on your own. I'm not going to do that. That's just what it is. But with Napier, with what he's done there, I'm not impressed with him. And I've been proven wrong. I was supporting him after the first year because I understand Dan Mullen had those players. That's not his fault. But after a whole year, he started off 5-2. And to be honest, the first 6, 7 games were winnable games. Utah should have been a win. Kentucky, if he had his team ready, should have been a win too. Because Kentucky really didn't do anything special all year outside of beat an overranked top 10 Louisville team at the time. Not to diss Kentucky, but that's just my opinion. Florida should have won a lot more than what they did. And if a good coach had coached that team properly, even without Graham Mertz, who played great by the way, they would have beat Florida State because Florida State was beatable in that game. So, in my opinion, about 4 or 5 wins is about right. And I agree with Uncle Lou. I don't see them beating Miami. I don't see them winning any of those last 5 games. And again, I'm not dissing the players, okay? I try to separate the players from the program and the coaching that's done in a lot of my videos. Unless you're Ohio State. As a Michigan fan, I like to diss Ohio State. But it's all fun and games. Of course, I know Ohio State's a great team. But there you go. You see a Michigan fan admitting it about Ohio State. You don't see that every day. But yeah, you got Miami. That's probably a loss. Miami's a far more talented team than Florida is, and not just talent-wise, but I think Cristobal is a better coach than Napier. That's my opinion. That's what it goes down to, the coaching. I think Florida State's going to be a better team than Florida again, despite losing pretty much their whole team. They went and hit the transfer portal and all that good stuff. I believe Georgia will beat them again. I believe Texas, despite their bad pass defense, their run defense is always really solid, and their offense very explosive. And they recruit crazy at Texas. They're going to beat Florida. Ole Miss, great team coming back. They're going to beat Florida. Losing Jenkins to Ohio State, whatever his name was, the running back, he's gone. They'll still beat Florida. So, look, again, I understand that. Look, and here's the thing. When Florida was really good in 2018 and 2019, they won 10 games or more each of those years. They won New Year's Six Bowls. They would still struggle with this schedule. So I'm not making fun of the Gators at all. If Florida State was playing the schedule, if Ohio State was playing the schedule, other legit teams, Alabama, Clemson, and when they had Lawrence and all them boys, they would struggle with this schedule, okay? That's not what this is. But what I'm saying is because of the coaching that goes on at Florida, because some of the dumb stuff they've done, again, it's coaching, spitting in people's faces. False starts. What else? The way the defense is played, bad. So, Yeah, I would have to say I don't disagree with Uncle Lou nor the Vegas odds. Now, if Florida were to win 6, 7 games, I would be very surprised. Even the most talented teams with that schedule probably won't win 10 games. So, yeah, but those are my thoughts on that.